All right, we are in chapter 5 now, and we're going to be using construction lines. On these problems, we're basically going to be given these isometric views. You're going to have to do some blueprint reading here and start to establish some of your blueprint reading skills because we're going to use those blueprint reading skills to basically develop the orthographic projection, or the multi-view drawing off of the actual isometric drawing that we're given. So to start out with, as we take a look at these, the very first thing that I recommend you doing is trying to establish the overall outside dimensions of the part. So let's take a look at this. Now, with this isometric, basically, as we're taking a look at it, the front view is going to be this side of the part here. And we can take a look and we see the dimension line right here. So our width in this case is going to be 5 inches. So that's going to be our width. And as we take a look, now we're going to find the height, because those are the two dimensions that are going to be in the front view. So our height here is coming right to here. So this is the 2.5 dimension. So we're looking right there, 2.5 inch dimension. And then that leaves us with our depth. So as you take a look here and see if you can find where you were given the depth dimension. So now typically we're going to be looking over here on this side. We do have some dimensions that we see, but they're not giving us the overall depth here. So we're seeing a 0.25 dimension. That's for this little cutout. So we're seeing this 1 inch dimension. That's for the groove that's right here. We're seeing this 1 inch, but that's for kind of the inside dimension or the height of this. So as we take a look, following through, well, we see right here the overall depth is this dimension right here. So that's 3 inches. So that's what our dimension is there. So we're going to start by using those. So as we take a look, our width is going to equal 5.0. Our height will equal 2.5. So, and our depth will equal 3 inches. So, and then from there, once we establish, so we're going to use the 9 lines. Remember, we will use the 9 construction lines, basically blocked out according to those dimensions. Our space in this case will be 1.5. So, and we're going to go ahead and we will use a insertion point there as well. And we'll probably, for this activity, we'll just use a insertion point of 0, 0. So now what I want you to do now is go ahead and take those dimensions. So stop and pause the video and try to draw out or sketch out what the front view, what the side view, and what the top view would look like from this. All right, so now I know you are competent at your actually looking at these isometrics and completing the multi-view drawing. So here, of course, in the textbook, they give this to you so that you can kind of see it. Now let's take a look. So we have our width that's going to be right here. So we'll kind of make that. So that's our width. We, of course, have the height. So that's the dimension of the height. So, and then in our depth, so here's our depth. So now, we're going to basically then make our 9 lines. And our first line, so, is going to be vertical. The second line will be horizontal, so kind of at the bottom. Then we'll start by making that line, and that line. So we'll get those horizontal lines put in there. We'll also go and we'll get these vertical lines in. So just remember the purpose here of the vertical lines and the 9 lines activity is the fact that we will basically be blocking in our front view. So this is going to be the front view. So we're blocking in the side view. So here's the side view. And we are blocking in the top view. So here's the top view. And of course, we sit there and think, okay, where does the 9th line come from? Well, the 9th line starts right here at the intersection of where your front view is. So, and that goes up at 45 degrees. Now, if you have done your 9 lines right, and if your space equals your space, we will know that connecting this point, and this point, so is going to basically be at 45 degrees. But I mentioned in the last lecture, so I don't want you using those intersection points when you create your 9th line. I want you to start with this intersection point, go up, draw a line of a certain length, and then physically type in the 45 degrees. So, and I mentioned that I want you to do that because that's a safety check. So lots of times when students are doing this, they either mess up on their spacing or they mess up on their depth when they're offsetting the lines. And if you click here and then create a 45-degree line, as opposed to using your object snaps, then that's going to be a kind of a double check for you just to make sure that you've got the spacing in your 9 lines taken care of. Now, once we have the 9 lines taken care of, then we're going to go back through and we will use offset line, and we will kind of start with offsetting to find where all these other interior lines should be at from there and where they're projected up, so we can kind of go ahead and create the drawing. So that's the information that we need to know here first, so you understand the methodology and the ideas behind using the 9 lines as far as construction lines to kind of start to block things in and get this drawing done. So if you don't understand this, go back and rewatch this video. We know, so we're going to be using a insertion point. So this is when we start the drawing, our insertion point is going to be 0, 0. So we've already mentioned now our width is going to equal 5 inches. So our height, so according to the drawing and the text, is going to equal, that was 2.5 inches. Our depth, so, is going to equal 3 inches. And our space, so, is going to equal 1.5. So we're going to use 1.5 for our space. So, and these are what we're looking at right now for this drawing. So I'm going to stop this. Then I will come back for the second video, and we will be in AutoCAD, and we'll be developing this drawing in AutoCAD.